One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to the news. I am your presenter, Henry Himonde. A look at the top stories in our news. Rural Electrification Authority to light up Itejiteji district. Chipata's Kapata Ward drainage works advance. And government launches 2022 to 2027 National Health Strategic Plan. The news in detail. The Rural Electrification Authority, REA, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Itejiteji Town Council to enhance the implementation of electrification projects in the constituency. REA Chief Executive Officer Linus Chanda says this follows the proposal by the authority to members of parliament to include electrification of constituencies using part of the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). Bupe Sendwe gives us more in the following report.
According to the Zambia Demographic and Health Survey of 2018, about 34% of households in Zambia have access to electricity. And out of this, over 70% are in urban areas, while only 8.1% account for persons in rural areas. It is because of such disparities that government saw the need to increase the Constituency Development Fund to 28.3 million kwacha and decentralize it so that individual constituencies design and develop their priority developmental projects. One of the urgent projects in Itejiteji constituency is the electrification of public institutions for quality services.
Also very saddening if I disclose that only 12% of Itejiteji's public facilities have got access to electricity. Only 12%. And our desire is that by 2025, Executive Director, our target through this collaboration, we want to increase access to electricity in public facilities to over 60%.
And today, Itejiteji Town Council signed an MOU with the Rural Electrification Authority to enhance electrification programs in the area.
This manifestation or this proposal that we made to the Honorable Members of Parliament has culminated into today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is actually pleasing for me to mention that this is the third constituency out of 156 constituencies that is signing up to this proposal.
Our people that there's going to be power in local areas or in the villages, and this is indeed something that has come timely.
The local leadership are elated with the development.
Since he came into power, that is our president, Mr. Hagani Chirema, he increased the CDF.
As a committee, we have started implementing the vision of this government. As I speak, one of the 2022 CDF community projects in Itumbi Ward.
There is need to double efforts if the country is to attain its target of electrifying 51% of rural connectivity by 2030. Bupe Sendwe reporting for Zanis in Itejiteji District, Southern Province.
Bupe Sendwe there with that report. Now in Lusaka Province, government has lauded the help that the International Organization for Migration, IMO, has continued to render to Zambia in improving labor migration management. Minister of Labor and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba says Zambia enjoys a cordial relationship with the IMO, especially on migration issues. And Ms. Tambatamba has noted that Zambia has continued to experience unique and complex migration characterized by mixed migration flows, which include human trafficking and smuggling of persons. Ms. Tambatamba said this when the new IOM mission chief to Zambia, Keisha Livermore, paid a courtesy call at her office in Lusaka. And Ms. Livermore has saluted Zambia for its commitment to manage migration by ensuring that it is safe and orderly for those who transit through the country. She said IOM is pleased to partner with the government in various projects aimed at improving migration management in Zambia.
At the ministry, we look forward to forging cooperation in the areas of labor migration and employment, including matters relating to human trafficking. Your Excellency, Zambia and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security in particular has enjoyed the warm cooperation with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, and other collaborating partners on migration in the country and globally as well. You may wish to know that Zambia continues to experience unique and complex migration challenges characterized by mixed migration flows, which include human trafficking, smuggling of persons, and forced displacements, among others.
To the Ministry of Labor, as well as the government of Zambia, the Republic of Zambia, for your commitment to managing migration, ensuring that it's safe and orderly for those who transit through this country or travel to, as well as for Zambians going overseas.
In Eastern Province, the construction of the 1.1 million kwacha drainage in Chipata's Kapata ward is expected to be complete by April this year. The project is being funded by the emergency component of CDF in Chipata constituency. More in the following report.
This is the infamous gully in Mtilansembe area of Chipata district's Kapata ward. The gully, which has claimed several lives over the years, has not been attended to since 2015. But thanks to the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, this problem is being addressed. Valued at 1.1 million kwacha, the construction of this 350-meter-long drainage, which is being funded by the CDF emergency component, is underway. The project, which is expected to be completed in April this year, is being implemented by the Chipata City Council.
The allocation of the 25.7 million, now it has gone to 28.3. It gives us powers to say even what we could not do, we're able to do. Like you've said, we were getting 1.6 previously. We've tried several times to apply that gap is looked at. But we were told monies were not enough. Monies were enough, and it was there expanding as well. As we were saying, money is not enough, it was also expanding. But with the coming of this huge amount, at least we're able to say something has been done.
Christine Mwale, who is a resident in the area, is thankful for the project.
3 years inganda yapona papita 3 years monga muiwona tete kukanga thandizo iliyonse yokuti pakine tingaone thandizo andi yonse imkolo pense njira apa koma tenzovutika koma lomba koma tuthokoza boma tuthokoza president.
This is a gully that has taken long to be attended to. From 2015 we have lost about 3 human beings, meaning more especially children. And we launched a complaint, it couldn't be considered till last year, 2022.
This is yet another demonstration of how CDF is impacting the lives of ordinary people. Mtalakani for Zanis News in Chipata, Eastern Province.
In Southern Province, over 2.9 million kwacha has been disbursed to 26 empowerment loan applicants under the Constituency Development Fund CDF allocation to Choma Central Constituency. The beneficiaries, who include small and medium enterprises, cooperatives, associations, clubs, and individuals, have received loans ranging from 16,000 to 200,000 kwacha. Runia Sakala has details in the following report.
It is the final component of the 2022 Constituency Development Fund, CDF, being dispersed in Choma Central Constituency. The local authority in Choma has today handed over about 2.9 million kwacha worth of empowerment loans to 26 successful applicants. For Choma Central Member of Parliament Cornelius Mwetwa, who was represented by Mayor Zanis Moloka, this is no mean achievement.
The loans are ranging from 16,000 kwacha to 200,000 kwacha, depending on the need and depending on what people applied for. As Choma, we have witnessed the youth empowerment, women empowerment. We have witnessed community projects. We have also witnessed so many bursaries that have been given out under the CDF for 2022. Choma and Babala, we are not amongst the constituencies that have failed to disburse money for CDF, which is meant for skills, which is meant for empowerment. And I think as a people of Choma, we owe ourselves an applause.
The loans, which have benefited small and medium enterprises, associations, cooperatives, clubs and individuals, are expected to boost the economy of the district.
These loans have been awarded to both existing and startup businesses, and they will create employment which will contribute to the economic transformation of Choma Central constituency by empowering small and medium enterprises. The constituents will have more businesses that will bring about competition and expansion.
Fanny Vwimbili is one of the beneficiaries.
Kuzwani twagarirera tatunabwe nebulero buli new dawn government. Linoswebo Choma group ari 26. Swebo nitwazidirira twaba iga gedi iga party iga tondezya kuti abaya abantu bashede bonse bahibe guteza into poziri zya masimpe.
Runia Sakala, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
In health news, the construction of the Namianda Rural Health Post in Kawimba Ward of Mbabala constituency in Choma District has been completed. Choma Mayor Zanis Moloka and the District Commissioner Sigale Gamela, who led a team to inspect the CDF-funded projects in Mbabala constituency, says Namianda Rural Health Post is ready for handover to the Ministry of Health. Here are the details.
The increased Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has continued bearing fruits in different areas of development. In Mbabala constituency of Choma District, the construction of Namianda Rural Health Post under CDF is complete and ready for use.
This facility is ready for handover to the District Medical Office, and the District Medical Director has made an undertaking that they're sending a staff in the shortest possible time so that the community can start benefiting from this investment.
By the second quarter of 2023, the facility will have running water.
The only thing now that we have to do, after we've made it functional, is to now follow through with the presidential directive to have a maternity annex. After a maternity annex, accompanied with running water.
This development has elated both the civic leader and local community.
So as that for now, we are just waiting for for New Dawn government to bring us the health personnel so that this structure can start functioning.
We are very grateful to the government of the New Dawn administration because the nearest health facility is Kamwanu, which is far away, and it was problematic for the people around this place to be going over to Kamwanu to access health services.
Kindu choturomba mazuva atahuri musirisi tumubone amisamu twibone ingamasi kuguzwa muhogo yesukunga wakamwanu kulle maningi.
The completion of this facility surely meets government's desire of providing healthcare service closer to the people. Costa Kimdenda, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
The Ministry of Health has launched the 2022 to 2027 National Health Strategic Plan aimed at improving healthcare services and systems in the country. Minister of Health Sylvia Masewo says it is government's commitment to bring healthcare services and systems close to the people and leave no one behind. Details in this report.
Government, through the Ministry of Health, has launched the National Health Strategic Plan 2022 to 2026 aimed at strengthening healthcare systems in the country. Speaking during the launch, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo said it is government's agenda to transform healthcare provisions, focusing more on prevention and efficient delivery systems.
The plan translates government's intentions for the Ministry of Health to deliver healthcare services as close to the family as possible while leaving no one behind. In line with the UPND manifesto, government desires to transform the healthcare delivery services to focus more on prevention as a measure for an effective and efficient healthcare delivery system, whilst continuing to strengthen the curative services.
Churches Health Association of Zambia, CHAZ Executive Director Karen Sichinga thanked government for initiating the program, saying it is a move in the right direction.
We are delighted to join the Ministry of Health in launching the 2022-2026 National Health Strategic with a vision of realizing a nation of healthy and productive people. We remain committed to working with the government through your ministry in improving the health status of our people and realize the aspiration of increased productivity and socio-economic development. This commitment is partly fueled by inclusivity with which the strategic plan was developed.
Head of Department Cooperation at the Embassy of Sweden, Susan Hughes, said the plan will help cooperating partners to collaborate more with the government.
Cooperating partners are pleased with the priorities outlined in the NHSP as they target the most pertinent and key challenges and should help address them. In particular, we appreciate the government's commitment to strengthening primary health care and adolescent health, addressing high rates of maternal and neonatal mortality, reducing malnutrition and stunting for children and adolescent girls.
Zakaria Nyimbili, reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Still on health matters, the Health Professionals Council of Zambia has emphasized the need of assessing medical graduates in critical areas of their professions, such as surgery and internal medicine pediatrics. HPCZ Public Relations Manager Terry Msonda adds that HPCZ, under the Ministry of Health, has assessed health professionals to ensure quality assurance aimed at assessing the competence and skills of the health professionals. Irene Jongo has more in this report.
The Health Professions Council of Zambia, HPCZ, has conducted practical examinations under the licensure examinations, focusing on different aspects of medical doctors and medical licentiates. HPCZ Public Relations Manager Terry Musonda explains that the practical examinations are anchored on competence and skilled manpower among health professionals in Zambia.
This is week 2, and we are focusing on the assessment of competences and practical. In particular, we have 2 groups. We are talking about medical doctors and also medical licentiates who are yet to write in the afternoon. Now, they are grouped in that manner so that indeed they are assessed accordingly. And like you witnessed inside there, we have about 12 stations, and each station is doing assessment of different aspects.
Mr. Musonda also emphasized the need for assessing medical graduates in critical areas such as surgery, internal medicine, and pediatrics.
For medical doctors and medical licentiates, there are specialties which are very critical to their profession. We are talking about being assessed in internal medicine, you are talking about being assessed in surgery, obs and gyne, and also pediatrics and surgery itself.
And candidates thanked HPCZ for their continued efforts in promoting professionalism in the health sector.
We appreciate the mind they have for doing this, because it also helps them know which institutions are doing well with their teaching.
For sure, medical examinations increase competence among health professions in Zambia. Irene Chongo for Zanis in Lusaka.
Still on health matters, the Health Professionals Council of Zambia has emphasized the need of assessing medical graduates in critical areas such as surgery, internal medicine, and pediatrics. For HPCZ Public Relations Manager Terry Musonda explains that the practical examinations are anchored on competences and skilled manpower among health professionals in Zambia. Irene Chongo for Zanis in Lusaka. Jambo Milling Company has called on government to issue permits for milling companies to export milling meal to neighboring countries. Jambo Milling Company production manager McDonald Kampamba says the milling company currently has 52,000 bags of milling meal in stock as there is no market in the country. Details in this report.
Jambo Milling on the Copper Belt has hit a crisis as selling of milling meal has drastically gone down. The milling plant, which supplies milling meal to the people on the Copper Belt, part of Central Province and Democratic Republic of Congo, is currently having 52,000 bags of milling meal in stock as there is no market. Jambo Milling production manager McDonald Kampamba said previously the company used to sell over 600 bags of milling meal a day, but from last week, about 50 bags of milling meal are being sold in a day.
That our sales have slumped down, drastically slumped down. From the local things, the local market, I think, is now flooded because we've been selling about 600 bags of milling meal per day in the local market. As of last week, the scenario changed, whereby we were just selling maybe 50 bags, 100 bags. I say so because this scenario has led us to sending our workers on forced leave, paid forced leave.
The production manager has called on government to grant permits for millers to export their milling meal.
We use what we call an electronic window where we access these permits. Even that system is closed. We are earnestly appealing to the government to reconsider the position on exports.
2 weeks ago, Democratic Republic of Congo, Katanga Province Governor appealed to government to start exporting maize as their current production is failing to meet the demand of the people. Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis in Dola.
On a sad note, an 11-month-old baby has died after sustaining multiple dog bite wounds on the head and chest at Rosakahia Farms in Mongule area. Zambia Police Service Deputy Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale has confirmed the incident in a press statement released to the Zambia News and Information Services in Lusaka. Oliver Siamzo, who aged 26, the father of the deceased, who also works at the same farm, told police officers who visited the scene that he had left the dog tied around the doghouse and went to attend to the pigs. He said it was at that point that the dog broke loose and went to his house where it attacked the baby, identified as Yolwe Siamuzohu. Mr. Mwale said the body of the baby has been deposited in the University Teaching Hospital, UTH mortuary, awaiting post-mortem and burial. And finally, Oriental Quarries Boxing Promotion has held talks with the Barose Royal Establishment to host a boxing tournament during the Kuomboka ceremony, which is due in April 2023. Speaking at a media briefing in Lusaka today, Oriental Quarries manager Chris Malunga says this is in a quest to promote tournaments outside Lusaka. Mr. Malunga said the tournament will have 5 international matches and 1 local bout with boxers from Malawi, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. He added that the estimated budget for the tournament is more than 300,000 kwacha, which he said will be used for lodging, logistics, branding, hiring of the ring, and purse money for the boxers. He further said that his stable is planning to hold 5 more promotional title matches for the year 2023. Mr. Malunga said 2 bouts will be held in Lusaka as African titles involving foreign boxers, and 3 will be hosted in other provinces.
We had a chat with the Malose organizers, the Komboka ceremony organizers, for us to host the tournament. And the chairperson agreed that we can put up a show at a date which is going to be announced by them very soon. So our next promotion, international boxing tournament, will take place in Mongo. I'm very, very excited that as a promotion, we're expecting to put up 5 promotions. Out of those 5 promotions, 2 will be in Lusaka. And, those 2 will involve African titles. According to the way the boys will perform, we might put another world title fight in Zambia. Before the end of the year, there will be another world title fight. Big title fight. We're excited once again that you've hosted us.
On that boxing note, we come to the end of Zanis News, but before we go away, another look at the top stories in our news. Rural Electrification Authority is set to light up Iteji district. Works on Chipata's Kapata Ward drainage have advanced. And government has launched the 2022 to 2027 National Health Strategic Plan. That is what we had packaged for you on Zanis News. On behalf of the entire news production crew, I am Henry Himonde. Join us tomorrow again at the same time for another edition. Remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. Goodbye.